12 shots. 12 seconds. And the entire elite marksman shooting range fell silent. She didn't move. Her pistols still smoked in her hands as stunned silence rippled through the wealthy, designer-clad spectators who less than a minute earlier had been laughing at her. Now their faces were drained of color as they stared at the woman they had mocked, unaware she was once known by a name whispered in military legend, Phantom Sight. Evelyn Marshall had traded her sniper rifle for a calculator 7 years ago, living quietly as a small-town accountant. But nothing about the opening of the country's most exclusive shooting range elite marksman was an accident. She had waited for this, plotted every step that brought her to this place. And now the past would come full circle. When she first walked through those opulent glass doors under the grand opening banner, her department store sweater and faded jeans stood out like a sore thumb among tailored suits and monogrammed vests. The receptionist's eyes barely hid her condescension. "Do you have an appointment?" she asked, scanning Evelyn's clothes like they were a foreign language. "I'd like to sign up for the advanced marksmanship class," Evelyn said, sliding a platinum credit card across the counter. Behind her, a chuckle echoed. Evelyn didn't need to turn around to know who it was. Richard Kane, owner of Elite Marksman and several companies with names she'd seen on shell corporations linked to illegal arms deals. The man who, she believed, had engineered the betrayal that destroyed her life and got her husband killed. "Ma'am," the receptionist said slowly, like Evelyn was hard of hearing. "The advanced class is for experienced shooters. You might be better suited for the beginner's course." Before Evelyn could reply, Richard sauntered over. "Is there a problem, Jenna?" "No problem," Evelyn cut in. "Just registering for the advanced class." Richard raised an amused brow. "Very well, Ms. Marshall." "Evelyn Marshall." No recognition flashed in his eyes. "Good." Her background had stayed buried. "See you tomorrow at 10 a.m., Ms. Marshall," he said with a smirk, clearly relishing the humiliation he thought awaited her. The next day, Evelyn showed up early. She observed security patterns, counted cameras, noted blind spots. She wasn't just here to shoot. Her lane was deliberately positioned at the far end, perfectly visible to everyone else. She knew the setup. Richard wanted a spectacle. Most of the class consisted of hedge fund heirs, junior politicians, and daughters of senators. Among them, Olivia Kane, Richard's daughter, looked Evelyn over like she was something that had crawled out of a bargain bin. "Hope she doesn't shoot her own foot off," Olivia whispered to her friends. Evelyn ignored them. She had trained herself to be forgettable. Her motions were hesitant, her stance flawed, her grip uncertain, all in act. But Marcus Reed, the instructor, watched her closely. Something in his posture shifted when he saw the way her fingers automatically checked the chamber and adjusted her sights. That night, in her modest apartment, Evelyn pulled out the letter she'd received 3 months earlier, postmarked 7 years ago. Daniel's last letter. In it, he warned her about Richard Kane, the man who had set them up on that fateful mission. "Elite," the letter said. "If anything happens to me, it leads back to Kane." Daniel had been right. She'd followed the breadcrumbs ever since. Every shell company. Every off-book transaction. All roads led here. She had been Phantom Sight, Ansia sniper whose skill had turned the tide in more than one secret operation. When the mission went wrong, they blamed her. She disappeared, letting the world think she'd gone dark. And for 7 years, she had. Until now. Each day, Evelyn returned to Elite Marksman. She let herself be mocked. Let Olivia and her friends place bets on how badly she'd fail. She kept her head down, all while planting bugs, recording movements, and transmitting data to her contact inside a federal agency. Lucas, a young man with real talent and no privilege, was the only one who treated her with basic respect. She helped him quietly, offering tips she claimed came from online videos. And she noticed Marcus watching her more often. He wasn't just an instructor. There was something else behind those eyes. One night, after hours, she returned to photograph a shipment being unloaded. Weapons. Crates with serial numbers that didn't exist in any official registry. Richard stood there, laughing with known international arms traffickers. She had what she needed. Marcus confronted her the next day. "You're not who you say you are." "I remember Phantom Sight. I was on the Delta team during that mission. I never saw her face, but I heard about her." Her eyes. Evelyn didn't deny it. "What do you want?" "The same thing you do. Justice." They met the next morning at a coffee shop. Marcus handed her a flash drive. Security footage. Richard's planning a deal during the competition. It's more than guns this time. Blueprints. Missiles. Something big. That night, she overheard Olivia arguing with her father. This is too far. You don't have to ruin her. She's nobody. She's a joke, Richard said. And she'll serve her purpose. But Olivia wasn't so sure anymore. The day of the competition arrived. Cameras were everywhere. VIP guests from around the world. Richard expected a humiliation. Olivia approached Evelyn quietly. They swapped your gun. It won't shoot straight. I tried to stop it. Thank you, Evelyn said. I won't need it. When her turn came, she stepped onto the line. The weapon felt wrong. She adjusted. Accounted for every flaw. Then she fired. 12 shots. 12 targets. Bullseye. The last series of shots formed a name across the target wall, Evelyn Marshall. Below it, her old unit's designation, TF-15. The crowd erupted. Marcus stepped forward. Ladies and gentlemen, you are in the presence of a legend. Lieutenant Evelyn Phantom Sight Marshall. Richard tried to protest, but it was too late. Federal agents stormed in. His guests were detained. And Richard was arrested for conspiracy, arms trafficking, and Daniel Marshall's murder. Evelyn stood before him one last time. You thought you buried me, but you just gave me a reason to rise. Olivia watched it all, betrayed and silent. Later, she approached Evelyn. I mocked you, but you still helped Lucas. You helped me too, in a way. Thank you. People can change, Evelyn replied. Just make sure you do. The trial was national news. Evelyn testified. Olivia testified. So did Marcus and Lucas. Richard went to prison for life. Daniel was exonerated. Evelyn was offered reinstatement in the military. She declined. Instead, she bought the facility at auction and reopened it as Second Sight Ranhea Training Center for veterans, at-risk youth, and survivors. Marcus joined as co-director. Olivia managed operations transparently. Lucas became a youth instructor, and the wall with her bullet-etched name remained untouched. One evening, Evelyn stared at the wall and whispered, "This is for you, Daniel." We did it. Phantom Sight had returned, not as a ghost of war, but as a beacon of second chances. And justice had never aimed truer.